They were the couple fans couldn't stop talking about. Lee Min-ho, Kim Go-eun. Two names that, when placed side by side, seemed to spark an instant reaction. On screen, their chemistry felt effortless. Their glances felt loaded with meaning. Their laughter felt unscripted. And their interactions, even in promotional events, carried the kind of tension you simply can't rehearse. Or so we thought. But in the past few weeks, whispers have started to spread. Whispers that threaten to rewrite everything fans believed about the bond between these two stars. And it all began with one voice. A former crew member. Someone who claims to have been there, behind the cameras, away from the staged moments, in the spaces where reality supposedly lived. And according to them, it was all an illusion. They say the magic we saw wasn't real. That the smiles, the playful touches, the shared glances, were carefully crafted for the cameras. Not born from personal affection, but from strategy. It's the kind of claim that instantly divides people. Because if it's true, then millions of fans have been caught in a carefully designed trap. But if it's false, then it's a cruel attempt to damage two people who've done nothing wrong. The crew member's story begins during the earliest days of production. They describe a meeting, not about costumes or lighting or scripts, but about selling the chemistry. They claim executives openly discussed how the romantic tension between Lee Min-ho and Kim Go-eun would become a marketing weapon. That every behind-the-scenes clip, every blooper, every candid smile would be as important as the drama itself. According to this alleged insider, the plan was simple: make the public believe the romance was real. Because nothing drives engagement like a love story that blurs the lines between fiction and reality. And when you think about it, it makes sense. We've seen it before in the entertainment industry. Two leads who appear closer than colleagues, whose off-screen moments fuel speculation, only for it to turn out later that it was all part of the plan. But here's where this story gets complicated. The crew member claims it wasn't just a marketing tactic, it was rehearsed. They allege that certain moments fans called accidental were, in fact, staged. That the famous behind-the-scenes hug? It was discussed in advance. That the way they held eye contact in interviews? A reminder given by a PR team right before cameras rolled. They even go so far as to say some social media posts were coordinated, not spontaneous. But before you decide what to believe, there's another layer to this. The crew member doesn't paint Lee Min-ho and Kim Go-eun as villains. In fact, they describe them as professionals caught in a system that rewards perception over truth. According to the source, both actors were aware of the plan, but neither pushed for it. They simply went along. Because in the industry, there's often an unspoken rule. If it helps the project, you play along. It's a claim that makes you wonder, how much of what we see from celebrities is truly them? And how much is just a performance? For fans, this possibility is painful. Because the joy of watching them together came from believing it was genuine. The way Lee Min-ho would smile mid-sentence, as if Kim Go-eun had said something only he understood. The way she would glance at him during interviews, her expression softening in a way no script could direct. If those moments were just part of a carefully managed image, then what exactly were we falling in love with? The crew member also claims there were boundaries. They insist that, off-camera, Lee Min-ho and Kim Go-eun weren't particularly close. Friendly, yes. Respectful, yes. But not intimate. They say the two would chat casually, but rarely spent personal time together outside of what the job required. In other words, the closeness existed only when there was a lens capturing it. And when the lens was gone, so was the illusion. It's a heavy accusation, and one that has sent shockwaves through fandom spaces. Some fans refuse to believe it. They argue that no one could fake the kind of ease and warmth these two shared without it slipping at some point. Others, however, say the entertainment world is built on convincing illusions, and that we as viewers should know better. But here's the question the crew member leaves hanging. Does it even matter? What we saw made us smile, made us feel something, made us believe in the possibility of love. Does it matter whether it was real or not? Some would say yes, because authenticity matters. Others would say no, because we watch to feel, not to fact-check. The alleged insider ends their account with a sentence that lingers. Sometimes the best performances are the ones you don't realize are performances. And maybe that's the point. Because whether you see this as a betrayal or just another part of the industry, one thing is certain. The story of Lee Min-ho and Kim Go-eun will never look the same to those who've heard this version. And for some, that changes everything. For others, it changes nothing at all. Because when it comes to the blurred line between drama and reality, We're all caught in the same frame. The only difference is, some of us still choose to believe. And maybe that's the real magic. Because even if it was staged, we believed. And maybe, just maybe, that belief was worth it. Now the cameras have long stopped rolling. The drama has finished its run. The press tours have ended. And yet, the conversation hasn't. Every time a new clip resurfaces online, fans begin dissecting it again. Look at the way he looked at her here. Listen to her tone in this moment. We replay these scenes, searching for truth in frames that may never give it. And that's the strange power of celebrity chemistry. It lingers long after the lights go out. Perhaps it's because deep down we all want to believe that something genuine bloomed behind the facade. That somewhere between rehearsed gestures and pre-planned glances, a real connection sparked. Even for just a moment. And if it did, that's the one thing no PR strategy could manufacture. But until either Lee Min-ho or Kim Go-eun speaks openly about it, and they likely never will, this will remain one of those unsolved mysteries in the world of entertainment. A story built on both fact and feeling. A love story or a love performance. Either way, it worked. So what do you think? Were we witnesses to something real? Or were we all just part of the audience in the greatest love story never told? Drop your thoughts below, because in this story, your take is part of the plot. And if you want to keep uncovering the untold stories behind the stars you love, make sure you subscribe, so you don't miss the next twist. But here's the thing about stories like this. They don't just fade away. In fact, sometimes the speculation grows even bigger with silence. Because every time Lee Min-ho posts a photo, even if it's unrelated, the comments are flooded with people tagging Kim Go-eun's name. Every time Kim Go-eun does an interview, fans lean in, looking for hidden meanings in her words. Some point to moments in recent events where they seemed unusually distant. Others swear they've spotted subtle signs that there's still something unspoken between them. And yet, the alleged crew member insists that these signals are nothing more than what fans want to see. They say that once you've been convinced of a love story, your brain starts finding evidence of it everywhere. Like seeing patterns in the clouds. It's human nature to connect dots, even when those dots might not exist. But this is where the conversation takes a turn. Because while some fans feel betrayed, others have started defending the possibility that both things could be true. That maybe, yes, there was a deliberate effort to make their connection look romantic. But maybe, just maybe, somewhere along the way, parts of it stopped being acting. The crew member even admits this possibility, in a rare moment of hesitation. They say there were occasional moments, tiny, fleeting, where Lee Min-ho or Kim Go-eun would react in a way that wasn't scripted. A laugh that came too naturally. A touch that lingered half a second longer than planned. And in those moments, they looked different. Not like actors hitting their marks, but like people caught off guard by something real. Could it be that the performance gave them permission to feel things they wouldn't have otherwise explored? Could it be that the illusion became the bridge to something genuine? We'll probably